joining me today. I'm Kate Burke, your City Council District 1 representative. Today we'll be discussing various travel modes and how the City of Spokane helps people get to and from where they're going quickly, safely, and easily. Let's explore some of the options a few commuters in Spokane are using to get around.
Hi, I'm Kate Bitts and I walk to work. When I got my first job in downtown Spokane, I made sure to find a place to live where I could walk downtown. I like to have the 15 or 20 minutes of time to just think in the morning, listen to some music.
Good morning, Kate.
Good morning. It's shorter than a lot of people's commutes by car, and yet it's relaxing and it's fun and I get to be out in the weather. A lot of people, it seems like they know the rules of the road as it pertains to other drivers on the road, but they don't understand quite how a crosswalk works, so I'm trying to make a lot of eye contact all the time to make sure that drivers will actually stop for me. I really do love it that I can just stop on my way to work and grab a cup of coffee back there at one of several other shops. That's a really special place, and I know that not everyone has that in Spokane just on their way to work unless they're going to stop at a drive-thru. Thank you. Have a good day. This is also where you first get that amazing view of downtown and my workplace.
I'm Kevin and I like to ride a bike. It's really simple. I get my bicycle out of the garage and strap on your helmet, jump on the bike and go. 5 years ago I had the chance to buy a house, and it was and people ask me about why, you know, I don't own a car. A lot of that is financial. I really can't afford the extra, you know, burden of the car and everything. And it was kind of like, I like to garden and you can't garden in a car. I live a block from the Addison bike lanes, and that gets you downtown, you know, or so you can get over to Howard and then downtown, or you can get up north. So it's a real nice location. I've got 3 different bus routes that stop a block up the street from me. So if it's bad, if the weather's really bad, which normally doesn't deter me, but if the streets are real narrow with the snow, I don't like riding when they don't get them plowed quite right. But it's, you know, those factors really played a big part in locating here. We still have people park in the bike lanes. There's a couple points on Addison that get really bad. There's one that's it's kind of a pinch point where the 2 lanes come into one and then the bicycle lane comes out. You know, they have to park it somewhere, so they figure that bike lane is as good a place as any. And it's, you know, we just have to ride around them. You know, when something like that, I make sure and signal and get in the middle of the lane. And that way, if traffic behind me gets mad about me being in the middle of the lane, you just point to the people that are illegally parked and it goes over their head, but at least, you know, you're showing what you're doing. I'm not real good at twisting wrenches, and newfangled cars are way beyond me, so it's like, you know, I can do everything I need to with this, and that's, I really don't miss a car.
Hi, I'm John and I like taking the bus. Well, I can't drive, so I love to take the bus because it gets me where I need to go. It's very convenient. I can, you know, get on the bus, sit and do work or read a book and get where I'm going. STA does an amazing job of getting people where they need to go. So I would recommend to other people to use the bus, as it, you know, very environmentally friendly, lessens the amount of cars on the road, and will get you where you need to go. And you get exercise in the process of walking and taking the bus and then walking to where you need to go. So it's great for everybody.
many modes of transportation that folks can use in our community, and today I chose to drive to work. I use all modes of transportation, but I like to drive some days to work when I have a lot of meetings in different places, and it helps me get around faster and more efficiently. Today we're on East Sprague here, where we've just done some really great revitalizations to the streets. We've done some road configurations, we've done some great work to the community here, and the businesses here are thriving as well. Some of the unique aspects that we have on East Sprague are our STA bus stops. These are bus stops that make it more efficient for the bus driver to pull up right to the curb. They don't have to lower down the bus, which lessens time for the bus to stop and pick up pedestrians and bus riders to get on the bus faster and more efficient. So it's great to incorporate this into the East Sprague corridor to see if we can make some changes on travel time for car drivers. This is one of the models that we're trying to incorporate throughout the whole city to bring in community aspects of living, a place that's walkable, bikeable, and a place that you can catch the bus, but also get to and from work efficiently. It's a holistic approach to transportation in our community.
In the city of Spokane, property owners are responsible for the health and well-being of trees and planting strips that border their property. By law, planting, pruning, or removing a tree from a planting strip requires most types of work to be done by a certified arborist and requires a permit. Working together and doing what's right for our urban forest is the responsibility of every citizen. For more information, please visit SpokaneUrbanForestry.com.
When is less really more? Less wasted water when washing your car means more water for the river and our fish. A commercial car wash saves water and chemical runoff. Go to slowtheflowspokane.com to find out more ways to use less water.
Distracted walking can be pretty funny if you're watching it on YouTube. What isn't funny are the statistics. Since 2009, pedestrian fatalities and injuries have nearly quadrupled due to distracted walking. Distracted walkers take longer to cross the street and are more likely to ignore traffic signals. 40% of teen pedestrians have been injured or nearly injured, and that risk doubles when they're distracted by a mobile device. See the world around you. Don't walk into it.
Thank you.
A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Today we have the privilege of being joined by Catherine Miller, one of our city staffers, and she is the Director of Integrated Capital Management for the City of Spokane. So welcome, Catherine.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate the time.
Of course, and thank you for being here. I just wondered if you could tell us a little bit about your role here in planning and public works and utilities.
Sure. So the capital programming that the City of Spokane does happens after the planning efforts occur. So you've got that original base comprehensive plan that then the planning department goes out and works with the different neighborhoods. Some of them come out to be sub-area planning or neighborhood plans. And after that work is completed, that's really when we start to take it from the ideas and the concepts and right into that next level I call the technical level, that has still got some planning elements to it. But we're really taking it from an idea to how do we actually get into design, construction, and ultimately putting it out there for people.
Great. Well, this is a really key role in our city, so thank you for all the work you do. We just had a couple questions we wanted to ask you. In general, how has the street design changed in Spokane over the past few decades?
You know, it really changed the most with that comprehensive plan, and a lot of that work happened in the late 90s, and it was approved just after the 2000 year. So really we're into kind of year 18 of the comprehensive plan being the basis behind what's going on. So previous to that, it was really a very car-centric conversation with the community, and that really comes off of just the culture within the United States in terms of having that one car in the garage and all those kind of components to what the comprehensive plan was really trying to overlay was a more balanced economic strengthening for the community to have not only different options to travel throughout the community, but also focused areas for commerce to happen.
Awesome. Yeah, and what are some of the changes our citizens might be seeing as a result of these centers and corridor policies?
The base is that economic generator being centers and corridors. Spokane is lucky that we have what we call kind of the old bones of community circulation. The neighborhoods are smaller between blocks in terms of, usually you see the older neighborhoods, like Brown's Addition is a great example. 300-foot blocks, you've got a little center in there in terms of the commerce for restaurants that are used today, but historically they went back for pharmacies and other things the neighborhood needed. So those centers are areas that we're trying to revive through the centers and corridors concept in the comp plan to have more of those neighborhood needs or economic generating locations, closer to where people can walk to, bike to, and obviously drive as well.
Yeah. Could you give us a couple examples of centers and corridors in our community?
Sure. Besides the Brown's Addition one, really the first one that I was involved with from the capital planning side was the Perry District. And that happened around the 2007 to 9 range, where it was really trying to become activated with supporting that little corridor for commercial area. And we came in there with the work of the planning department at the time to rebuild the roads, put in a walking sidewalk, a more walkable, I should say, sidewalk passable, widened it in some areas, and just it made it a place that you wanted to be. And that really is that concept of that center, is people want to be there to shop, to walk through, to pick up dinner, whatever that is, but again, very walkable, very accessible within that neighborhood.
Awesome. Well, we sure love our corridors, I think, in Spokane here. So how do these design elements help the road better for all modes of transportation?
So getting back to the examples of the centers and corridors, what you're seeing, that was the Perry District we just talked about. The next one we had was the market area. So what you saw in both of these projects, bump outs coming out where the crossing distance is shortened for those pedestrians to get across in a safe way, also a more visible way. Usually you've got the parked cars along the curb and a short person like myself standing behind the cars, harder to see as you cross the street. So those bump outs get people physically out closer to be seen, and then they have a shorter distance to go through the area. It also, back to the economics of that corridor, gives a place to green up, to make a statement about the area, whether it's through either artwork or some kind of signage, but that's the physical space that we would then have for people to be able to notice this is unique and different as they're going through.
Yeah, awesome. So if someone was really interested in following up and making sure to see what was happening in the city, how could they do that, and how could they stay in touch?
In terms of being involved, which is a great comment, we've got the neighborhoods that have all of their monthly meetings, and that's certainly a way to plug in and see what's going on. We try to communicate when the projects are in Capitol through the neighborhood notices that go out each month to let them know if there's a project in their neighborhood. We're looking for feedback. So that's one great way to kind of plug in. Any project or any programs that we take, which is yearly, our 6-year program, goes out to the community every year in the springtime. We go through the Planning Commission process where we have a hearing there. That's all notified through the regular Plan Commission hearing notices, and then we go to council, of course, and that's the ultimate approval of the program each year. And again, that of course gets notified through the usual notification process. We also, anyone can go directly to the city's website and find out about any of our current projects that we're actually asking for direct feedback specifically on a project. Right now, for example, we have both the Riverside Avenue project downtown, which is part of the Central City Line, out for conversation with the community, as well as our Sprague, which we're calling Sprague Phase 2, that runs roughly from Scott Street to Bernard, where we're actively asking people to get online and give us some comments back about the project.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. And you heard it from Catherine. Check out our website to get more informed on some of these new projects coming up, and we'd love to hear your input. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back right after this.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon? You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason. Because it means love and devotion for one's country. Love. But what really makes up this country of ours? What is it we love? It's the people. Almost half the country belongs to minority groups. People who are lesbian, African American, and bi, and transgender, and Native American, and proud of it. After all, what's more American than freedom to celebrate the things that make us, us? This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, disability, sexuality, race, religion, and any other labels. Because the second any of us judge people based on those labels, we're not really being patriotic, are we? Because love has no labels.
In the city of Spokane, property owners are responsible for the health and well-being of trees and planting strips that border their property. By law, planting, pruning, or removing a tree from a planting strip requires most types of work to be done by a certified arborist and requires a permit. Working together and doing what's right for our urban forest is the responsibility of every citizen. For more information, please visit SpokaneUrbanForestry.com.
Thank you for joining me today. If you'd like to see a better transportation system in our area, I'd urge you to go to your neighborhood council meetings or contact your local city council representative. As always, you can keep up to date on the latest City of Spokane information by checking us out online or via social media. Thank you.